Welcome everybody, my name is NeoZerp, and a bit of a different video going on today. Given how wonderful the stream went last time, if I can show clips of that, I'll do that now. I actually just remembered that I deleted those. So no, you will not see clips of that. Strike it from your memory. That never happened. I never referenced anything of the sort. I'll tell you about it instead, since I'm sure you weren't already watching. It was horrible. The Elpis location was making the whole game lag. I was losing frames faster than this camera is right now in the recording, which I really hope it doesn't look like that. I'm gonna have to check that here in a second. But I digress. I pushed through and I made the content and so on, and it was awful. So I've decided to come back and try to resolve that whole frame dropping issue with a proper recording. I know, gasp. An actual recording. I'm actually going to stop this recording now and see if my camera is looking as trash as it does. I was indeed dropping frames in the recording, so we'll see how that goes. I lowered the resolution. Final Fantasy seems to... Oh my goodness. It really likes to hog that camera. Like, I'm pulling a perfect 70 frames, 68, 70 frames right now in game, and it's been a total diva about my frames. And my theory has been it's these new areas with really nice lighting and such. So this might turn into a bug bounty video if I can't get these frames to stabilize. Or I could just turn off my camera. Nah. Anyway, so where were we going here? You'll just have to deal with laggy cam. I'm really concerned as to why this is happening the way it is. I actually believe that this is a Final Fantasy issue and not an OBS issue or a camera capture issue. Simply because this only happens in Final Fantasy. Now, it might be a perfect storm problem where only Final Fantasy and the camera and this whole thing like combines to have some magical issue. But we're going to see what's going on here. So when so a little bit happened off camera while I finished up Elpis just to get myself out of there. A memory portal thingy was activated, and I was ejected along with Vano, and Vano and my character are the only ones that remember the events that happened in Elpis, where we were trying to save everyone, and that Meteon, the creature that is an empath that can communicate with any sentient being with emotion, went out into the universe and basically found that everything was dead and got super depression. And because of that, all the Meteons decided to gather at the edge of the galaxy and basically think negative thoughts at Aetheris. And that's what causes the final days. Anyway, putting that aside, Hermes freaked out, tried to take Meteon away. We had the Elpis dungeon, which was pretty fun. You get to run that with Emmett Silk and everyone, and Emmett Silk is your tank, and it's really cute. Anyway, the final days happened. We see Vano like struggling and having an issue, and then like actually splitting everyone up because essentially she's pissed that mankind would just kill themselves to try to relive the days before the final days, basically live in bliss. And she's like, no, and then like sunders everything. So that is what happened there. And good heavens, this is one pixely camera. So if I click off of Final Fantasy, is it going to stabilize? Yes, it is. Look at that. Square Enix, what have you done to my game? It's not the textures, it's only certain regions in Final Fantasy that do this. Anyway, we're gonna see if this works. This happens in cutscenes for science and all that. Of course, we will not only condition you leave your armaments at the door, lest you forget this is a sacred institute. Take the wizard's staff. Okay. This is my boomstick, and I make the big booms with it. So you, sir, can get exploded. I suggest you make your way inside. Fine. That would have been really funny if I was a monk class and I would just laugh at them. Oh, look at that. Because monks just punch things. Look out. Okay. Glorious. Looks like a state of bureaucracy, if you ask me. It smells of bureaucracy, too. Perhaps we need more explosions and stabbing. I am interacting. Just thought of a way I could bypass this whole laggy camera thing. In cutscenes, I mean. Oh, see, look at that. See, it's cleared up already. Sort of. Oh, no, that won't work, the voice acting. Crap.
There is a matter I wish to raise with you before we enter.
Is that the matter of drinks and popcorn?
We are here to listen and to learn. But if the forum's plans are more or less what I expect, then I should like to make a proposal that will serve our ends.
Okay.
By your leave, of course.
I suppose I'll permit it.
I don't see why
Who
not.
took my hat?
Your words and wits have
My
gotten
hat's
us this
gone.
far. Agreed. I will present our queries so that you may consider the most advantageous way to advance your proposal without distraction.
This is distracting.
Thank you, everyone.
If I may have your attention, the ad hoc session will now commence. The purpose of today's assembly is to brief the Scions of the Seventh Dawn at their request on the Great Exodus. You may enter.
I mean, ironically, you wouldn't have had the Exodus if I hadn't have blown Zodiac out of the water. Just there in the back. Ugh.
On behalf of the Forum, I commend your heroic actions on the Magna Glaciers. We shall not soon forget your service to us and the people of Radzat-Han.
It's about time I get some friggin' respect around this place.
The Satrap, whom we have informed of the refugees' new arrangements, sings your praises as well.
Of course he does.
As an expression of our gratitude, we will endeavor to answer your questions as fully and openly as we are able.
You've removed that weird magical lock on your line, so I would hope that's pretty able.
Then let us begin. First, it is the Forum's objective to ferry the life and knowledge of this star to the moon. Am I correct?
You are. It is for this purpose that Charlian has labored these many long years. We have collected biological samples and scientific records from across the star. When the time comes, they will be moved from their places in Labyrinthos and Numenon and conveyed to safety.
Where's that location?
Once that critical task has been accomplished, we will begin transporting the Sharlayan citizenry, which has been categorized into groups. The earliest arrivals are to ensure hospitable environs for those who come after. Following our people, we will send those of other nations in turn, beginning with our allies.
Yes, subject them to the carrot diet.
Radzat Han was foremost among these. But since the final days have already come to Thavnair, we saw fit to include the refugees with earlier groupings.
Makes sense.
An ambitious plan. You have accounted for the safety of all nations and tribes, then?
As many as we can.
An ominous
And
answer.
how, pray tell, do you decide who to leave behind?
To journey beyond the sky is an unprecedented and immeasurably difficult endeavor. Introducing sources of inevitable conflict would condemn all to certain death.
So what, you're not going to put the
Questions
cats and the
as to
dogs together?
validity of that approach aside, are your plans proceeding apace? We're under the impression that your primary means of celestial transportation is incomplete.
And they couldn't get to the teleporter.
If only in that it does not meet our optimal parameters, that is correct. This Ark, as some have taken to calling it, is fully operational and could be launched even today. However, the final days have progressed more quickly than we anticipated. At present, the ship is incapable of attaining speeds sufficient to meet our evacuation targets. Should we put the vessel into service, as it is now, we will be unable to travel to the moon and back quickly enough to complete the necessary number of trips. Precious lives and knowledge will be lost.
It's not good.
Seven hells. Is there anything to be done?
The ether burner, the primary means of propulsion once the craft is in the space between stars, is undergoing testing to determine whether it can be made more efficient.
Ether burner.
Though cargo is being loaded for the initial phase of the
Yeah,
Exodus,
jet engine.
we are prepared to continue our experimentation up to the day before launch, should it prove necessary.
They're going to burn through all their fuel.
What if the Scions were to solve your problem? We shall help devise a means to improve the ether burner's efficiency, on two conditions.
Hold on there. There's an aetherite on the moon. Just teleport people to it the same way you forced projected me to Thavnair at the beginning of the game. And problem solved. The most you get is a little seasick. Or are we gonna retcon the existence of that technology?
If we succeed, you must allow us to meet with Hydaelyn.
I could just go meet with Hydaelyn, please.
'Twas simple enough to deduce. You have a Concord, and so you would never have abandoned the anti-tower had you no other means of communication. One far more convenient, I suspect.
Yeah, we're having to talk to oracles and deal with attunement and weird stuff. These guys are just having casual conversations
The
with
second
Hydaelyn.
condition, also to be met upon our success, is that we be permitted to propose another use for your Ark.
We would be at liberty to refuse this proposal.
Of course. If we cannot prove its merit to the 99 here, who are we to stake on it the lives of all peoples of this star?
Delightful as always, Master Alfino. Oh, we couldn't have asked for a finer plan. Allow us to solve this complex engineering problem of which we were entirely unaware until moments ago. What could possibly go wrong? The satire writes itself. Yet, what field has not benefited from a change in perspective? When we are at wit's end, what we need is not the same dry theories recited ad nauseam, but fresh inspiration.
I sense Sid might be appearing soon. He's been notably absent this campaign. No one is greater than the master of the ironworks.
I, for one,
Sid Garland.
have faith in my erstwhile students to
Garland.
provide it, and I find their terms
Sid
to
Garland.
be perfectly
Perfectly acceptable, yes. If they have Ranger,
Order! We have no time to waste on debate. I call a vote.
we'll be a little disappointed if Sid
All in
doesn't show
favor
up
of
and
agreeing
cut.
to the
and
Scion's
so-
terms?
Yes, all in favor. And the eyes have it.
"71 in favor, 28 against. The ayes have it.
I just called that. Thank you.
Fortuneau, as the architect of this project, you are the best candidate to show them its current state. And bear in mind that regardless of your personal misgivings, this is the will of the Forum.
Just write down the names of those 28. I want it for reference later.
Very well.
I call this session to a close. Return to your tasks with urgency. The final days wait for none.
Where is Sid Garland? Sid. We need your help. You're the super genius who's gonna let us do all the things. Oh look, I still have my weapon. Fancy that. And my hat is back. Sorry for not letting the rest of you in on my plan. I'm admittedly thinking on my feet for the most part. Since we require both means of communicating with Heidelin and reaching Meteon. Spur of the moment, I saw involving ourselves with the completion of the Ark as a way to work towards both objectives simultaneously. However, we must first keep our end of the bargain by solving the problem of the aftermath. I'd like to think it is not a challenge beyond our combined expertise, or at least the expertise of our extended circle of associates. Yes. That might behoove us to learn on how an ether burner actually works before we attempt to improve it, though. Just to add more ether. Alright, so Hoshino. Let's rock and roll. Instructed, I shall take you to see the ether burner. Meet me outside the Ark, yeah. I trust you can make your own way. The Ark is being built in Labyrinthos. Hardly surprising. Where else could they conceal such a massive undertaking? Yep. Sounds about right. And this is probably right next to the location that I already have access to. More or less. I haven't gotten anywhere crazy yet, but I've already attuned to those other ones. Because I have friends. Alright. See, like, now the camera's not freezing. Look at that. Now, was it my shaders? It looks like in this instance it was my shaders, but previous testing would not have indicated that. Very suspicious. Brush it out. Destination lies in the lower levels. 4 minutes wisdom has granted you access to the Archeon's lift. Step inside and have Orphelin take care of the medical medial circuit. Is this? Do I have to? Yes, you're gonna make me talk to somebody down. Dang it! Gonna just teleport directly to where I needed to go. That's here. Hello, Orphelin. Yes, I wish to use the medial setting. Thank you. I can travel. For now. I have sent your associates ahead to Logisticon Alpha, the other side of the barrel agro. What is this music? Actually, there's something I've been meaning to. Yes. No, never mind. It can wait. Let's attend to the matter at hand. What is it? You can trust me. I'm Ellison. Ellison to Ellison. Ooh, is it faster to go by bike or to go from the opposite direction? Let's take Fenrir. I guess I go in here now? Don't mind me coming through. Beep, beep. Hello there. Goodbye. Here we go. Or cutscenes. Yes. While we wait here, our father arranges for us to use the next lift. Here, being Logisticon Alpha, the atmospheric conditions of Labyrinthos are regulated. It's a giant thermostat. Water is drawn from underground, dispersed as vapor, stimulating the formation of artificial clouds and rain. By manipulating the temperature and air circulation, they are able to create the ideal environment for growth and preservation of the biological samples kept here. Not too hot, not too cold. Hold on, how do you know so much about it? My father brought me here as a child. What? Left me behind? Actually, you're the one who left me behind when you went off somewhere with grandfather. The night before, I'd been asking father how clouds are made, so he decided to show me. It was fascinating. I peppered him with questions. Peppered? Yes. With questions the entire time. It's all too easy to take for granted the many interweaving aspects of the natural world, to grow inured to the wonders. Wow, I think that's the most basic sentence Urianger has ever said. He didn't even say hitherto and wherefore. But having gained an understanding of the complex mechanisms employed by the Laparates in recreating a similar environment, I have come to view such processes in a new light. The subterranean guardians of Labyrinthos, lunar prison forged to contain the ancient zodiac, the habitations built for all mankind neath the moon's surface, each unique, yet undeniably similar. There's no mere coincidence. Guess the Alligans just have nothing to do with any of this. Ever since Heidelin unfolded to us the grim fate that awaits Aetheris, every essential resource we could spare has been delivered to Labyrinthos in preparation for the Great Exodus. But that is not all. It is also a testing ground for the technologies that will allow us to settle on distant stars. Though the Laparates have endeavored to make the moon inhabitable, that is not our final destination. Mankind must learn to propagate life where there is none, to thrive where all is barren. We could use this technology in the first, honestly. Alas, time is not on our side. I have arranged for you all to enter the central circuit. It is there that the most of our preparations for the Great Exodus are carried out. The construction of the Ark, among them. Though our plans have been made public, access remains highly restricted. You, however, will not be subject to said restrictions, and will have free reign to come and go as you please. Such was the will of the Forum. We will prove ourselves worthy of your trust. Your trust. Then let us proceed. Wow. That is quite the long stare there, bud. It's uncomfortable being an Elysium here. Like, Arianji, help me out here, bud. Hey, you know what I mean? Well, this will be a shorter episode. I'm actually going to have to call it here. I would say, from a technical perspective, we've uncovered a few things. And just given time, I'm probably going to do more temporary based, I don't know, regular YouTube video recordings. Imagine that, right? Anyway, smash the like button if you haven't already. That's a direct order. Otherwise, I'll blow you sky high. I'll incinerate you. I'll use xenoglossy. I don't know. Black mages do consistent damage. They just don't do like a big damage real fast. It's kind of weird. Like the video for Mega Chad. He likes it. He likes it when you like the video. Of course, I will give pats appropriately, right? Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I have been NeoZerp. I will see you all later and in the next video. Goodbye now.